What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is June the 13th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing on this fun Friday morning. Friday the 13th, mind you. So I want to get right into everything that you need to know. Starting off with data points. So you do have Michigan consumer sentiment coming out at 9 a.m. In the past, we've seen this really impact the market. So that's going to be something to really watch for. But this time around, I do feel like it is going to be a lose-lose scenario. And what I mean by that is, in case you do not know, Israel did attack Iran after hours yesterday. So that's impacting the market quite significantly. So Dow is down 1.05, S&P down 1, NASDAQ down 1.22, crude oil is up 8.12%. It's improving from the lows of the overnight, but still, that just might be an indication of what might be coming during the trading day. So essentially, today is going to be a little bit more of a bloodbath across the board. But going back over here, why this might be a lose-lose scenario, if this is negative, that might just obviously prompt a further sell-off, more than what's already happening in the broader market. But if it is positive for whatever reason, it might just get brushed under the rug. Only because when it comes down to kind of acts of war and whatever else, the market is going to assume the worst. And today being Friday doesn't make things any better, only because you will see a lot of institutions selling out just in case that they're fearful of this escalating. And it's kind of interesting because Iran just, I believe it was like 30 minutes ago, mentioned that they're going to attack and retaliate with full force. Trump just stated, I saw right before doing this video like 2 minutes ago, that Trump is pretty much applauding Israel attacking Iran. So the states might get dragged into this. So people are again going to assume the worst. But yeah, let me know your general thoughts on that. But getting right to it, Sofi, no SEC filings, no press releases or anything like that planned. It is down 3.49%. This is a very good example of why you do need access to overnight trading. Only because when this was selling off yesterday, I was at the park. I saw this crazy sell-off starting to really escalate, and I bought 600 shares at 14.09. Honestly, it could have went down more than that, but at that stage, like, that was a steal. So yes, during the trading day you can take advantage of overreactions, but during the overnight, that's even crazier. So anyone interested in like access to overnight, definitely sign up. I believe there's Robinhood, IBKR. I have a link to IBKR in the description below on a side note, but I recommend every single individual to have at least one brokerage as well that has access to overnight, because in that way you can take advantage of crazy sell-offs. But again, like I mentioned, it could potentially sell off back to there during the trading day. But as far as right now, it seems like it was a pretty good steal of a deal. 12.93% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 140 million shares overall are being shorted. Right now with that 1440, it is exactly on this pivot point of this R1. And during my video yesterday, I said that's going to be a key pivot, because you also do have 76,000 in the money options at that 1450. So you're going to see shorts fairly active today. So that's kind of the moral of the story of that. But moving on, ticker's SBET, it is down 66% because of this recent S3, which is a shelf offering, good for 3 years. But that's what the market generally does, is whenever one of these is announced, it prices it in fully, even though essentially they might not be diluting all of this immediately. Again, it's a 3-year time span that they can do it, but that's what's really prompting a pullback. So I feel like this one will be a pretty good day trade for those individuals interested, but it's not heavily shorted. So 1.57% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 925,000 shares. So that's not going to make that big of a difference. With that 1075 though, trading between this pivot and this S1. So I do feel that given the circumstances, yes, today is going to be a bloodbath in a lot of different kind of sectors, but I do feel like a recovery to possibly that $12 range, or at least to touch this pivot point, might occur. So that's a pretty good return on investment, like a good 20% easily there. So again, for those day traders or whatever else, that one might be one to watch for. So ticker is SBET. Moving on is RBNE. Honestly, this one and another one, a lot of speculative energy plays are just piggybacking off of what happened, right? So essentially this one's a newly formed one. So this one over the last 5 days up 20%. Not heavily shorted, so 3.85% of the free float's being shorted. It is because obviously it recently trading. It's above all the key fib levels, so no point really going over that. But this one definitely is getting a lot of volume. Moving on, Houston America Energy Corp. This one similarly, it's going up because of oil and just kind of what's happening there. This one could potentially recover and have a pretty good return. Similar, like I mentioned, for day traders and whatever else. No news from this or even that RBNE, but in this case, 3.28% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 44,000 shares. Right now with at $12, it is currently trading between this pivot and this S1. So 1640 is going to be that next strong target / resistance, which realistically could be touched. So again, for day traders, that one might be one to kind of watch for. 1025 will be a strong support. And then last but not least, RXRX is just no news from them, just reacting to the broader market. So it is down 5%. It is heavily shorted, so anticipate them to really double down today. So 29.03% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 112.8 million shares overall are being shorted. Right now with that 493, it is trading between these 2 points. So it's R1 and the pivot, so 468 and then 394 is going to be the strong support levels. 542 and then 588 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. And in my opinion, I think this one is very popular, so it does have the opportunity to really move higher. Not green, but I do feel at least it could move up a little bit. So let me know your general thoughts on these. Hopefully everyone mitigates some risk and does everything accordingly. Have a good Friday the 13th. My apologies on the lack of videos. I don't know if you can tell, I am very, very sick. Fever, so it's been a fun time lately, but nonetheless, hopefully everyone has a good weekend. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.